I feel like my nose makes too many sounds. Hello, my name is Marina, and right now you are witnessing my dream coming true. This is the very first episode of my very first podcast that is called No Name, because there is no better way to describe what this whole podcast is going to be about. So if you feel like you would be interested to get to know about things from music to psychology, from science to personal experiences a little more and a little deeper, stay with us today and stay tuned for more interesting episodes coming up soon. To start this journey, I have decided to dive into talks about mental health and some routine things. And today we're going to talk about those small experiences we are going through every day and need to reflect on a little more. And I'm hosting this episode not alone, but with my very close friend whom I met a year ago when I came to Canada to study, Ron.
Hello, I'm Ron.
Yeah.
I met Marina 1 year ago when we were still like both of us were new international students, and we met through a common friend of ours, Andrea. And in this 1 year, we have really built our relationship and we have gotten to know each other better, gotten closer and shared experiences. And I'm very, very excited to be the very first guest Marina has on this show, on this podcast. So I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to wherever this leads us.
Yay! Thanks
Yay.
for sharing this experience with me because it's very nervous for us right now. And please be not judgmental while listening to this because this is the very first time we're going through things like this. So yes.
Yeah, we hope, like, not hope, we expect the majority of our audience to be people like us that are students that um, want to know more about life, are struggling with life, and we are also going through similar experiences. So we really hope this relates to you, and you find comfort in the unknown, in nothingness, in the uncertainty.
Yes. And before getting to an actual talk, I would like to give you a short warning on today's topic and mention that the format today is just a simple friends talk. We are not psychology experts or therapists, so this episode can help you feel included and understood rather than professionally assisted. So let's finally start it off and discuss these small things that we face every day and how we just go about them. What do we do when we feel at our lowest and just triggered by these small daily things? It's also important to mention that everyone's methods are very individual. So, and if something helps us, it does not necessarily help you in every possible way. So take it more as experience sharing that you can learn something for yourself from and tailor it to suit your personal life and to your individual small or big problems. So, and I feel like it's better to start talking about the small experiences and explore them a little more from the perspective of our major role in society right now. And as we are college students in their 20th who moved to another country and right now live and study in a completely different culture apart from their families, we do experience certain things which are unique for our background and just our life. So like the first question is, what are these small things specifically that you feel you face as a student in this context? From the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment when you go back to bed at night.
Um, I guess like the first thing when most people wake up in the morning is like, oh, I have another busy day. I have work. I have to do this. I have to do that. There's not a lot of room to like actually breathe in and be like, oh, today's a fresh day. Today's going to be a good day. Today I'm gonna feel good. I'm gonna do this or that. I'm excited about it. It really is like that. I have to go to class. I have to go to work. I have to come back. I have to make food. I have to clean up. I have to go to bed. There's not a lot of room to actually do anything out of these activities. And I guess when you keep doing these things over a period of time, over a longer period of time, weeks and months, it obviously starts to take a toll on your mental health. Like there's no room for creativity. you're not doing anything outside of what you're required to do, what you actually want to do, that's not happening. And obviously, it mentally will upset you, and also your physical health. You're not eating well, for instance, like you're eating whatever's on the go. You're outside at work, and the most convenient thing for you would be a pre-packaged sandwich, to just buy a sandwich and eat that. And obviously, if you keep doing that for weeks and months, that's obviously not good for your system. That's not good for your health. So not only your mental, but also your physical health has to be considered. And I guess for things like this, you have to take out time. Like when you have a day off and you're confused, like what should I do? You rather than just rotting in the bed, maybe you should consider going out and doing nothing. Maybe just go on a walk, go take the streetcar and just follow along and go wherever that leads you. You don't have to have a plan always. It's okay to not have a plan, to not know what to do. Just go out and experience, and just see where that journey takes you, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. But do you feel like these are just emotions and we have to think about how to deal with emotions rather than actually exploring the reasons why we feel this way? Or it's just emotions that you want to cope like in this moment and do not think about it too deep?
Um, I guess the long-term goal should be to actually treat it in a way that would lead to a healthier lifestyle. But like in the moment, there's often not a lot of room or a lot of space for you to actually think what you want to do in the long term. And a lot of time it is very hard to even figure out what you actually want. So I guess sometimes you have to take the little steps and start with just living in the moment, going where the journey takes you, and having that trust in life that it'll be okay. I don't have to figure out everything right now. I can deal with my emotions as they happen. I don't have to think about them all the time, about what I'm going to do 1 year from now. Sometimes it's okay to just take a breath and just be.
Yeah, that's true. But there is also this dilemma that from one side, yeah, we just let it be and let it go as, I don't know, someone drives us or whatever. But from the other side, it's only us who are responsible for our life and how it goes right now and how it will go in the future. So shouldn't we take responsibility for this, like for each action we do in life that should lead to a certain goal or to a certain dream?
Yeah.
And this is also a big dilemma for our age specifically because we are in our 20s, and this is the time when people usually decide what they like in life and what they would like to do in the future so that they're not regretting about this precious time when they are old.
That's true. Like everything, all of our major life choices so far have been what our field of study would be and what college we're going to, what work we would like to see ourselves in the future. So I think that all of the major life decisions so far have been about the long-term goals in our life, like what we actually want to do in life. So I think right now, what's more important than that would be to focus on the current situation and currently how we feel, because we're always thinking about what we're going to do in the future. So we often just overlook these little things that are affecting us in our everyday life, and it's easy to let yourself go and to not care about what it is that you want to do in this moment, in this day. Maybe you just want to go out and have a cookie and go on a walk along the lake, but you're not doing that because you're worried that you might not end up studying for your test the next day or something. But maybe you're feeling so down that day. Maybe you actually need that. Maybe you actually need that cookie and that walk along the nature to recharge yourself and to feel better about yourself. And then I think it would be a better situation to start actually studying, because you feel good about this one thing you have done in this day at least.
But also, the thing is that it's so difficult to manage these emotions in our age and actually understand what we like and what we would like to do in this moment. Some of these emotions just stem from our fear or any other strong feelings that just cover this emotions that let us know what we should do next. And what I mean by that is, for example, today I woke up in the morning and I felt like, no, I actually don't want to do any kind of podcast. I just want to stay in bed and, I don't know, watch a series or something. And this was my moment feeling and moment emotion. But it would be so much better if I would actually wake up and go to the studio and start recording this, because this is my dream and this is what I'm doing right now to bring this dream to life. But in the moment, I didn't feel like this.
Yes, I guess there's a lot of things that you feel. Sometimes you set on a goal and then you're like, oh, do I actually want this? You have second thoughts. But I guess you have the answer to that yourself. Like if you ask yourself, do I actually want this? If the answer is yes, then that's a good thing, because you actually want to do this podcast. Even though you had your doubts about it, you're scared because this is your first time, you're nervous, and that's okay. But when you woke up in the morning and you said that you were having, like, you didn't know if you actually wanted to do this, that was because you thought that was more convenient for you to not do this podcast, to just sleep and not to think about it, because this is an added responsibility to your everyday life. But also deep down you knew that you actually wanted to do this, that you want to set out on an adventure, on and explore new grounds. And yeah, so here you are. So I guess it's important to take note and to think about things that, do I want this or do I not want this? And also you have the answer to everything yourself. Sometimes you just need a moment.
Yeah, but for this, you should be self-conscious enough to understand what you think deep down yourself instead of just your moment emotions.
It's okay to not be aware of what it is that you actually want, because when the moment arrives, you always make a decision. That's just basic survival, that no matter what, when it's right in front of you, you make the decision of what it is that you actually want to do, or maybe what is good for you. But I guess it's okay to be a little lost sometimes. You don't know what you should do or how you should behave, and I guess that's okay. You should have the trust that things will fall into place.
Yeah, for sure. And also there is a lot of valuable things in the moment of this feeling being lost. Because when you're feeling that you are lost and you don't know what to do, your brain just activates and you start looking, you start observing and seeing things from the perspective whether you like them or not. And at this point, you actually start exploring yourself, which is, I think, the whole point of life or the whole point of youth.
Yeah, like this is a time that we are like allowed to be confused about things that we want to do or not, like how we should behave. This is a time that we should be exploring so many different things, because this is like the base of our future life. So what we do now will reflect what we will be going to do be like in the future.
Yeah, but like what I'm scared of is that this feeling of confusion will never go away. And like I'm 30 years old or I'm 35 years old and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking the same thing. Like I'm so confused and I'm so lost, and it's fine to be confused and lost. But at this point of my life, my parents cannot provide me with everything and I have to pay for my rent just by myself. And it's not like I have to find a job just for money, but I also like, it would be really good if I find this job that I enjoy going to. And at this age of 35 or 30, it would be also nice to have, not maybe to have a family, but at least to have someone who you could build this family with because of some physical reasons.
That's true. When you were like, for instance, 12 years old, you were confused about life then as well. Like, what?
I feel like I felt more stable and I knew what I wanted actually when I was 12 years old, when, like, in comparison with how I feel now.
Would you say that when you were 12 years old, this is what you thought your life would be like at 19 years old, 19 years of age?
I thought that I would be living in Switzerland in my own house.
And the life that you have now, is that too bad?
No, it's not. It's absolutely not. But I think like when I was 12 years old, everything felt like a dream. So I could not imagine myself being 19, 18 years old as I am right now. And that's why like I did not justify any expectations because I did not have any of them. And
Yeah.
like at that time, it felt like dream. Like I was able to dream about anything, like about living in Switzerland, about having my own house at 19 years old and stuff. But right now I'm at this point where I'm in the middle, like where I'm in between life feeling like a dream or future feeling like a dream, and the point where the future is based on my actions, my current actions. And it's not just a dream anymore because I have to actually act. Like I don't have to just think about this, but actually act right now to provide a better future for myself. And I'm here in the middle and yeah, just keep dreaming. So that's why it's not as scary, but the older I'm becoming, the scarier it becomes because I'm getting further from this dreaming position, if you know what I mean.
That's true, because when you're children, you don't have to worry about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Where you're going to be living, who's going to pay for everything. You just expect your parents to do everything for you. But yeah, at this stage of our lives, I guess we are taking more control of how we are living ourselves and how everything is working for us. But for instance, if not 12, and when you were 16, were you still dreaming?
When I was 16, mostly yes. Yes.
Okay. And are you still dreaming, like, about your future?
I want to dream, and I also have this strong belief in myself that like everything will be fine. I will be working at a job that I like and all this. But this belief is also mainly based on my dreams. But I know that I have to be more grounded and think about how I should provide for myself first of all, and then dreaming.
Before before you start working, like you work at Aritzia, and before the work actually began, you were, I guess, confused and nervous about how it's going to be and how things will look like. But now that you've done it, now you're not working for Aritzia anymore, you can say that, oh, I did that. I something that I thought I couldn't do or something I had doubts about, I actually completed that, and now I have an experience in life that you probably may feel like I probably needed this experience to know about this world. I guess your entire life is like that. You're uncertain about the future and then you don't know what to do, but once things start coming to you, and like your short-term goals start coming to you, you get more and more prepared for your life ahead, and you figure out things as you go. Because I can set goals for myself 10 years from now, that I want a house, that I want a family. But what's more important than that would be to take things as they come and have the belief that you will get through this, like you have gotten through everything in your life previously that you thought that, oh, I cannot do this. You did it. So I guess it is important to have that belief that whatever is coming, I will do it.
Yeah, but also considering this example, all this means that I have to actually get out of my comfort zone. And
Yeah.
the decision, even the...
I'm sorry, that was a
Music pause.
notification from my mom.
So this decision to even apply to this job was caused by the fear that I'm about my future mainly. So, and the fact that I have decided to actually go for it is mostly because of this fear, and also it was out of my comfort zone for sure.
Yeah, you do have to push yourself in life to do things to at least try and experiment on things that are out of your comfort zone, because if you never knock it, the door may never open. So it is very, very vital, I guess, to not just have the want, to desire to do something different, but actually plan on it. You may fail, but you at least have an experience, because if something else comes in life that's similar, you'll know how to deal with it better than if you never actually did it in the first place.
Yeah, and here's also where we can talk about the power of regrets. Like, if you have any expectations, there is a greater chance that you will not justify them, because the reality is not the same as we imagine it in our minds.
True.
Yeah, so like if you are in the beginning of something new in your life, you should acknowledge that it might be not the same as you imagined that.
Nothing in life is like how you expect it to be. It's always different. Some days, sometimes you may just study so hard for a test, and then you're like, I have to get good grades. I studied so hard, but then you don't. You get a 13 out of 20 on a quiz like me, for which I studied, and then you're like, damn, where did I go wrong? But that's also like, you can come up with better strategies for next time, even though it's like you regret that situation, you have resentments. That also means that you will be better prepared for what's coming next.
Yeah.
You may lose yourself for a while. You may feel defeated, but it is in our very nature to survive as humans. So there will come a point where you will prepare yourselves better for what's coming next.
Yeah. And also, I guess the strategy here is just to reduce the importance of certain things. Like if you failed your test, even though you studied for it, it doesn't mean that you're not smart enough and you will not get a job of your dream and you will just fail in your life and you will come back to your country.
Yeah.
No, it's not how it works. It's just that you failed this test and that's it. And this is difficult because like if you're overthinking, it's exactly what your overthinking process is all about. You just like catch one thing and then you exaggerate at the size where it's so huge that it just screws your whole life.
True. Sometimes you may end up getting good grades for a test you did not study for at all. If that is fine, if you feel like, oh, I did not deserve that, if that's not as big of a feeling as when you get less grades on a test you study for and you feel, oh, I did not deserve that, I deserved more. The feelings are the same, that you did not deserve this, but we tend to value one over the other, even though both are the same feelings. I guess you should not do that.
Yeah, and like especially if it happens in the morning and then you are feeling bad for the whole day and like the whole day is ruined.
Yeah.
Which is obviously not good. So at this moment, we have to work with our emotions rather than trying to overthink and explore the reasons behind something that has happened.
You have to take little steps.
Yeah.
Again, you have to live in the moment, I guess. Take care of what's happening to you in the moment and trying to fix that before thinking of, oh my God, what am I going to do in the future? Everything is ruined.
Just have to take it easier.
That's true.
Yeah. But also what else I'd like to discuss here is coming back to more global things, like about our career in the future or stuff like this. We are in our business major. I am in marketing and Ron in supply chain management. And it actually says a lot about ourselves that we kind of did not decide what we like in our lives. And we decided just to go with a path that is maybe a little bit easier and more versatile. I don't know. And like, it's just the areas where a lot of money are in. I don't know. That's the truth. And here is the question. Because I know that people usually are divided into two categories. If they don't exactly like what they're studying, they are either don't like it and they know what they like, but they're just too scared to switch the majors because of some expenses, or for example, it's not as profitable or anything else, like any other reasons can appear. And the other category is when a person feels like it's not exactly what they would like to do in life, but at the same time, they don't know what is this dream job that they would like to do instead of their major. And would you say you are in the first category or the second?
Yeah, I think I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I like. And the things that I like, maybe I'm not as good at them as the things, if you compare like things that I'm good at and things that I like. They may be two different things. There may be areas which I'm not interested in, but I may excel at. And there are things that I really, really enjoy doing, but I may not be as good enough. So yeah, I guess that's a dilemma, like of choice. Like, what do I do? Do I do this, what I want to do and fail at it? Or do something that I don't like, but excel at it? Um, I don't know. Like I chose supply chain, I guess, because I was too scared to try out the arts, the area of arts, what I actually wanted to do. But I hope that in the future, when I am, rich and successful and a money man, I have so much money and a millionaire, whatever, I can come back and really explore these areas, take courses, be involved in arts and culture. But right now, I guess I don't have the resources to be, because my parents won't be like, they cannot provide me for eternity. I have to look after myself. I have to make my own money. And I'm not saying people in the arts area like broke and they cannot make money, but I guess it's harder to. And this is a more convenient path for me to reach that goal of mine that I want to study arts.
Yeah, but also here's the question. Do you actually want arts to be your job rather than your hobby?
That's also a very interesting question because I've never tried out arts. I don't know that if I'll make enough from it. And if I don't make enough, if I actually chose that instead of this and I did not end up making enough to even sustain myself, and even at like 35 or 40, I'm living by myself in a sharing apartment, in a sharing situation. I'm not like, nobody likes my art, because art is subjective. You may like your art so much, but nobody else is liking it. Like Van Gogh, right?
Yeah.
He never sold a painting in his life when he was alive. It was only after his death that people started noticing. And now his paintings sell for like millions of dollars. He never knew what he could have, like, that his art is good, because it is so subjective. You never know that if you actually will be successful at it. So I don't know. I guess when I think of it that way, I'm more content that I chose management as my major and not arts, because it'll give me more resources in the future. But I'm yet to find out if I'm actually happy with this choice. I only know like 10 years later. I hope I am. I hope I'm content. I don't want to be sad.
Yeah. Actually, recently I was listening to this podcast and this girl, she was saying this idea that I've never even thought before, because my whole life, everything that I'm doing was boiling down to the idea of my dream job. Like if I find a new hobby, it should become my career choice in the future somehow, even though it's just something random. Like I started loving crocheting a few months ago, and I immediately started thinking that it should be my dream job in the future. But it's not necessary actually. And like this girl said that is is the idea of not having a dream job that bad? Like, can we be happy if we eventually do not have this job? Because not all the hobbies have to become your job. And like, if you enjoy doing something, it does not necessarily have to bring your money.
Yeah, there's something that are just for yourself that you like to do.
Yeah.
And maybe like you love to do it, but maybe for the world you're not good enough at it. So if you pursue that, maybe you'll not have any money. And sometimes you don't even have the desire to turn it into your dream job. It's just something that you love doing and something that gives you peace. And I guess that is good in a way to not make it that your dream job, because when you're so stressed from your actual life, you can just go back to this and take a moment with your hobby and be happy even for an hour or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And like in general, any job, there will be a moment when you don't exactly enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like, I mean, you can like it in general, but there will be these moments when you don't like it really, and you will think and reconsider your choice probably, and that's normal. But you have to decide for yourself whether you want that a certain thing in your life to become this kind of business, like that you might not enjoy as much at certain moments. And like if you
Yeah.
have this as a hobby, it's so much easier to find it relaxing most of the time because you're not responsible for anything. I don't know,
Yeah.
you're not.
Don't have to please other people.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
only for yourself.
Yeah.
If you turn it into a job, maybe there will be times oh, I hate crocheting now.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at it anymore. So yeah, I think that's important to have hobbies that you just like doing.
Yeah. And like that's how it was for me when I was like 13 years old, and I was really extreme in everything that I was thinking and saying. And my mom, she's been a teacher for I guess like 20 or 25 years at the same school, like all these years. And that sounded so crazy for me, like how she can enjoy it for so long. And she was not satisfied with her job during the last years before she quit last year. And she also enjoyed sewing a lot. And I was saying to her, Mom, you should just quit your job and go just sewing for other people so that you're getting money for it. And she was saying no, because I don't want it to be my job. I want it to be my hobby. And I thought, how is that even possible? No, if you like it, it should be your job, because your job is almost 100% of your life. Or I thought it should be like this. But right now, I understand that it's not necessarily like this. And you still can feel happy if you don't have this dream job, if you have any other reasons that make you happy.
Yeah, there may be jobs out there that in your head are not your dream jobs, but jobs that you are content with, that you're happy with. So not everything that you like or your favorite hobby has to be converted into your job.
Yeah. But like I was also thinking why we even have this mindset. Like why we have this mindset that we need to find this dream job that will be 99% of our life.
We are under the constant fear of failure and expectations and responsibilities from our friends. Like, what am I gonna tell to this person if I fail at this? Because they expect so much of you, and that also puts on so much pressure as youth, especially because you have to impress your parents. You have to make them proud, and that's like so much responsibility. And when we think of it, like, we don't even know what we like. How am I even gonna, like, I want to impress my parents, like, but like, how am I gonna do that? There's just so much pressure to not even, that makes you not even consider that there are other things that you can do. But there's only one path to success, and that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, and like usually the problem is that something that our parents will be likely impressed by is not the same that is impressing for us, because we are from different generations and we were raised in different circumstances, which influenced our life choices a lot. And I think one of the main values for our parents and for our grandparents, like I'm speaking about myself right now because I'm not sure if it works the same for you, but like back to my home country, it's stability. Like if you have stability, which means that you have a job that you will have for the next 40 years for sure, you are successful. And if you have if you have a husband that you might not even like, but he's just here, you are successful in your life. And my parents are more liberal in this way, but most of the parents back home are like this. And the thing is that we are not like this anymore because everything is so ever changing. I don't know. And we've been living through all these years when we see how fast everything is developing, even considering AI or technology or anything else. Like we see that how we lived yesterday is not the same how we will live tomorrow. And that's why we have to change our life regularly as well to keep up with time and to keep up with our own ideas. So that's why we don't exactly have this value of stability. And even my choice to move out of my home country is so unstable for all my relatives. So why do I have to want to impress them if we have different values in life?
As you said, stability is a great concern in your country that is preferred in mine too as well. I think if you're married by 35 and you're having kids and you have a stable job, that is a good life. But is it? Is it a good life for you or for the world? Is it convenient or do you actually like it? I guess like I don't think our generation as much, but definitely millennials, like their parents are so, I guess, dramatic in a way that like, I'm getting old. You should get married now. Like, why?
Yeah.
And it's the concept of arranged marriage is also like very popular in our country as well. Like parents will find a suitable spouse for you through your like your birth charts or whatnot. There's a point that comes in your life, even though you feel like, no, I actually don't want this, but still you start thinking that, doubting yourself that maybe I should listen to my parents. Maybe I should, like, they did this and they seem to be happy. So maybe this will work out for me as well. But maybe that's not actually what you want. That's what you're doing because that's convenient and that is what expected of you. And you'll feel like, oh, I'm fulfilling my responsibilities this way. My mother is also like more liberal in this sense. She's like, don't get married. Don't get married. Don't fall into relationships because she's against relationships. But she's like, it's just, there's so much freedom that you lose if you fall into like conventional ideas of how that you should be married by this point, and if you're not, you're single and you're lonely and alone, nobody likes you, or you're not stable in your life. um you should try to figure out what you like for yourself first, like what you want to do in life, and then I guess it gives you a clearer circumstance to find a spouse,
Yeah.
like to even, I guess that's just a better circumstance. That's just a better situation for you. That's there will be more ideal than just giving into societal pressures of what a good life is like.
But like from our perspective then, what's a good life?
One that there is no way that you will escape society. That is just ingrained in us. No matter what you do, no matter how much against you go against the society will always affect us. So I guess a good life would be to do as much as you want that's against the society, societal norms or pressures as much as you can, I guess. If that makes you happy and you can do it, I guess that will constitute as a good life because there's nothing more you can do. Maybe that's not a good life, but there's nothing more you can do about that.
Yeah.
And that is sad.
Yeah. But do you feel like you have a good life right now?
I have everything I need. And I have everything I want. Like when I think of what do I want right now, it's just like I want to live in Europe. I don't want to study here. I want to study in Europe. But does that mean I don't have a good life? I don't think that's true. I think I have a good life as of right now, just because I'm not studying in a fancy university in the UK or something doesn't mean I don't have a good life. That's just a desire. And I'm doing everything. There's nothing I'm doing right now that I'm like, oh, I wish I wouldn't do this. So I guess I'm content with my life. I guess to be content is to have a good life, to be satisfied with what you're doing.
Yeah. I like this answer. I think we also have to appreciate a little bit more the fact that we are here right now. Like, even though our university, it's not even university, our college, it's not super fancy and we are not in this beautiful campus, like walking around.
With old stone buildings.
Yes.
Huge grounds.
Exactly.
Victorian era.
But feel like we're studying at the quite beautiful buildings, which used to be a hospital.
Mental hospital.
But still it has some history in it. And we have a lot of opportunities here. Like even the fact that we were able to come to the studio and have it for free. Not for free, but like this was included in our tuition fee, which is very expensive, but it doesn't matter.
But see, there's another aspect to this, that there are more opportunities out there that we did not expect. Like this, I did not even know about this until like 2 months ago, until you told me. I'm like, what? There's a podcast room? So I guess you have to be more conscious of your surroundings, of what's around you, and take interest in that.
Yeah, and maybe if you don't feel like it's a good life that you are feeling right now, maybe it's just better to look around yourself and see some good things that you like in this life actually. And at this point, maybe you will change your mind. Maybe you will start thinking that you actually enjoying this life. Because it's like this saying, there's actually no saying like this, but I'll just like say it like I feel it. It doesn't matter where you are. It's more about how you perceive this place or something like this.
You ate that.
So wasn't I happy back in my hometown? Yeah, yes, I was. Am I happy living here right now? Yes, I am. I think so. I hope so. But it's more about myself thinking about this life and seeing this life as a bag with a lot of opportunities around me rather than the actual place. So yeah.
Yeah. There's also not a saying, but there's this book called All the Light We Cannot See. And one of the main points of that book was even though there's so much darkness, like the book was about a war, about the World War. And what it highlighted was that there's so many bad things going on, but there are good things that we overlook. There is light that we often just do not care about, that we just take for granted. For example, you're okay today, but tomorrow morning when you wake up with a stuffed nose and you cannot breathe, you realize, oh, I took breathing for granted. Breathing is so much better when you don't have a stuffed nose. So I guess that reminds you in a way to take care of your health, to actually appreciate what you have been given.
Yeah, and because it feels like we are right now in the beginning of our life or in the beginning of our conscious life. Yeah, it's probably exactly the step that we are at.
Our life started just now.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, like what we have to just analyze, observe, look around us, try to find what we like, and
Yeah.
do not worry about some really small things that do not influence our life globally,
Yeah.
because we decide whether it influences that or not. So if we don't want it to influence our life, we will just reduce the importance of this.
Yeah, we have to acknowledge the power that we have.
Yeah.
We are powerful.
Yes, we are. And I hope that we will have good life.
Yes.
We will keep continuing having good life.
And even if at certain points we do not have good lives, it is okay.
Yes, it is okay. We can just go out, go for a little walk, and enjoy some nature that we have around us anyways. And
Yeah.
we still have it. Like, thanks God, but our generation like still have the ability to observe the nature.
Yeah, like it would be better to be sad and observe the nature
Yeah.
than to be sad and not have
Yeah.
the chance to observe the nature.
Yeah. And we also need to acknowledge and pursue our dreams and desires, whether they're big or small, because it's also better to be sad and be in Canada than be sad and be
In your
in my hometown.
Yeah.
But no, like it sounds too bad actually.
Like you would prefer going out of your country and exploring than just sitting at home and thinking about what I could have done.
Yes, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So like just never regret and keep pursuing your dreams no matter what. That's
Yes.
what I meant. I didn't mean that like my hometown is bad. No, it's really good. I miss it.
I would like to say that it has been a great honor to be here, and I'm really, really glad that I did this because, again, I did not even know that this service, this thing existed until like 1 or 2 months ago. So I'm glad. This is not in my comfort zone at all, but I'm glad that I did this, and I'm thankful to Marina that for thinking of this idea and making it actually happen. I guess I would like to end by saying you're gonna be okay.
I like it. I like it. Thank you. I love that we did it as well. And I couldn't imagine that it would become true even a month ago. And I was so, like, I was having this idea for quite a long time, but I was so scared to even tell you for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, oh no, it's so scary. I cannot do this. But here we are. It is scary. I didn't want to do this in the morning, but now I feel so happy that we did it. And it's one of the reasons why I'm having a good life right now, because I keep doing things that actually brings me joy and happiness in life.
Yeah.
So-
it's always scarier before actually doing
Yeah.
it. But when you actually start doing it,
Yeah.
you're distracted,
Yeah.
I guess, from your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you end up doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing these moments with us. We hope that you had a great time listening to this episode. Keep believing in your
Keep believing in yourself.
and stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.